KTRK over here. Fox 26. Okay, so KPRC is not here. Oh, you're here. Okay, all right. I got a lot of calls, so there wasn't never a confirmed yes or no. So, anyone else that I missed that's here? Okay, I think there was one more person that had messaged me, so we'll want to give them a few more minutes just to make sure that they're going to arrive. We'll try to start as close to on time as possible. Thank you all for coming early because you know it's so easy to get to our office.
Good afternoon. My name is Nicholas Ganji. I'm the United States Attorney for the Southern District of Texas. Joining me here at the podium are representatives of the Department of Commerce's Bureau of Industry and Security, the National Security Division's Counterintelligence and Export Control Section, Homeland Security Investigations, and the New York branch office of the FBI. As the Chief Law Enforcement Officer for the Southern District, I have no higher responsibility than safeguarding our nation's security and protecting the American people. Some time ago, the United States Attorney's Office for the Southern District of Texas and DOJ's Counterintelligence and Export Control Section began an investigation in tandem with the Department of Commerce, Bureau of Industry and Security. That investigation became a coordinated law enforcement initiative, Operation Gatekeeper, aimed at identifying, disrupting, and prosecuting networks engaged in the illegal underground smuggling of cutting-edge technology from the United States. We are here today to announce the first results of that operation by the unsealing of the guilty pleas of a Houston-based technology company, How Global, and its owner, Alan Hsu, for illegally smuggling or attempting to smuggle $160 million worth of high-value computer chips out of the United States. The case against Hsu represents an important milestone. It is the first arrest and the first ever conviction for an AI diversion case. At the same time, we are announcing the arrest of two businessmen, Ben-Lin Wan and Fan Yu Gong, for their roles in allegedly violating U.S. export controls and smuggling laws by shipping to co-conspirators in China those exact same chips Hsu admitted to smuggling, specifically NVIDIA H100 and H200 Tensor Core graphic processing units, also known as GPUs. These GPUs are nothing like the graphics cards you find in a home gaming computer. No, they are among the most powerful processors on the planet. They are designed to train and run AI. And we're not talking about AI like ChatGPT or Google's Gemini. Rather, this AI can be used for direct military applications, such as designing weapons, operating drones, and analyzing intelligence data. At their core, these cases are about individuals who deliberately conspired or worked with others to send this technology into the hands of America's strategic competitors. In terms of specifics, Alan Hsu, who is known also as Haoshun Hsu, owned and operated How Global, which is used as a front to purchase these advanced GPUs from a US supplier in North Carolina. Hsu then smuggled these chips out of the United States by using false descriptions and documentation of goods, referring to them as adapter modules, adapter cards, and computer servers. Hsu and others working with him knowingly exported or attempted to export $160 million worth of GPUs during the period of October 24 to May 2025. Hsu's Houston-based company, How Global, was a shell company. It had virtually no assets or resources. Instead, Hsu funded this scheme with more than $50 million in wire transfers from companies and individuals that tied back to China, including money from a Hong Kong-based logistics company. Not surprisingly, the GPUs that Hsu purchased were destined for China and Hong Kong in violation of US law. Through the incredible work of our law enforcement partners, we were ultimately able to disrupt Hsu's scheme and seize millions in dollars of GPUs and prevent approximately 100 million more from heading overseas. Fan Yu Gong and Ben-Lin Wan were also alleged to have conspired with employees of that same Hong Kong-based logistics company and a related China-based AI technology company to violate US export control laws. Gong, a Chinese national with a pending asylum claim, is a resident of Brooklyn, New York, and the owner of a Brooklyn-based technology company. As the complaint alleges, through his business, Gong hired individuals, almost all Chinese nationals, and directed them to warehouses in the New York, New Jersey metropolitan area. Those warehouses contained millions of dollars of NVIDIA GPUs that were being prepared for export to China. At Gong's direction, these men removed NVIDIA labels from the GPUs and relabeled them under the fictitious corporate name Sandkian, doing so to conceal the true nature of the shipment. The shipping paperwork also misclassified the goods as adapters and adapter modules. These events were witnessed by an undercover law enforcement agent that had been planted at the warehouse. After these men left, law enforcement seized the GPUs with a value well in excess of $30 million. As for Ben Lin Wan, Wan is a native of China, now a Canadian citizen. He's an executive with a Virginia-based subsidiary of a Beijing, China technology company. A separate criminal complaint alleges that Wan helped recruit and organize individuals to inspect a batch of mislabeled GPUs on behalf of the same Hong Kong-based logistics company. Specifically, Wan allegedly directed his inspectors not to say the GPUs were destined for China. This was not an accident or a misunderstanding. As described in the complaint, Wan was a party to conversations on how to evade U.S. export laws. The parties on the other end of these conversations were based in China. Before I conclude, let me say this. This is just the beginning of Operation Gatekeeper. Do we believe that the 3 defendants charged are the only 3 people in the United States overtly operating to export critical technology? No. Do we believe How Global is the only company operating as a front purchaser for diverting these chips? No, of course we don't. The Southern District of Texas will find each and every person or business working to illegally export these critical technologies to our strategic competitors. We will be relentless in finding them. That is what Operation Gatekeeper is for. The stakes are high. The country that controls these chips will dominate AI. And the country that dominates AI will lead the future. The Southern District of Texas will find and prosecute anyone who attempts to undermine America's technological superiority. And with that, I'll turn it over to Assistant Director in Charge Chris Rea of the New York FBI.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Nick. Spending 19 of my 22 years in FBI Houston, it's a privilege to be here today to speak about FBI New York's efforts regarding this investigation. As Nick said, my name is Christopher Rea. I'm the Assistant Director in charge of our FBI's New York field office. I'm proud to stand alongside our federal partners in the Department of Commerce and Homeland Security investigations. Houston Department of Commerce Special Agent in Charge Trey McClish, and Homeland Security's Investigations Dallas Special Agent in Charge Travis Picard. I'm here to represent FBI New York's work on the disruption of a $200 million illegal network that allegedly smuggled restricted technology to China. Today's disruption highlights the importance of partnerships, especially when targeting threat actors who are attempting to carry out the agenda of foreign governments, which violates the integrity of our international trade market. This close collaboration ensures we are a united front against an ever-evolving and pervasive threat. As you heard earlier from the U.S. Attorney, the FBI New York office assisted our partners by arresting Fan Yu Gong for allegedly operating as a key figure in this scheme. As alleged, Gong hired individuals to relabel the graphic processing unit shipments and conceal the package's true contents, directly facilitating the unauthorized shipment of controlled products outside of the United States and into the hands of the Chinese government. The sophisticated conspiracy allegedly created a backdoor to provide an adversarial nation with advanced technology using artificial intelligence applications and high-performance computing to advance China's civil-military fusion efforts. Additionally, I'd like to thank the Department of Commerce and Homeland Security Investigations for their tireless dedication identifying and apprehending those who seek to jeopardize our nation's critical infrastructure. Specifically, as it relates to New York, I'd like to thank our counterintelligence squad for their contribution to our success today, and the FBI Washington field office, who were unable to attend today, but also assisted in the case. Again, I want to say thank you to the U.S. attorneys from the Southern District of Texas, Nicholas Ganji, and his team for the aggressive prosecution of this case, and for extending the invitation for me to be here back in Texas with everybody, with Commerce and HSI today. I want to commend everybody here on a job well done. With that, I'll turn it back over to U.S. Attorney Ganji.
All right, let's open it up to some questions. Yes.
Talk about the I guess potentially this could help the military for the common
Well, I think the common citizen American citizen should be concerned with alleged espionage efforts happening within our country, and that American technology would be diverted to assist one of our strategic competitors overtake America's technological superiority. Yeah, John.
Directing these people or advising these people? We talked about businesses in Hong Kong, but is there a government role here, at least in the indictment?
So in the indictment and these complaints, no such connection is alleged. Our investigation is ongoing, but we're not going to get outside the four corners of those documents.
Other indictments involving Chinese nationals and espionage this year, is there any connection between this case and those cases that we saw?
Well, again, we're staying within the four corners. I don't know if you're specifically referring to the Zayway case, the hacking case. There's no connection alleged within those documents we provided you today.
Is there any indication that these folks were instructed by a specific partner or Chinese government agency to do this?
Well, if you the paperwork provided you, the criminal complaints, there is an allegation that Mr. Wan was engaged in a conversation with people overseas regarding concealing the nature of the GPUs, priming them for export in violation of U.S. laws.
You say they were based in Houston. Can you be a little bit more specific of where how global was based? Was it an office space? Where at?
Yeah, it was an office space in Sugar Land, Texas. Mr. Shu is a resident of Missouri City, Texas. But again, the company's physical space, it is under-resourced. I'm not even sure it still exists, but that is why it was funded with money that was coming from overseas sources in order to buy these chips.
You know, we're talking about an international crime. You have offices in New York and Houston, obviously. Like, how does this collaboration happen? Does somebody call up Houston and say, hey, I think this is going on? Like, do you guys need to create these collaborations, or how does it kind of work?
That's a great question, John. So with cases like this have such a specialized nexus, you're going to want to have the best and the experts on everything. So you're going to have, of course, our National Security Division, DOJ. You're going to have the Department of Commerce, and FBI is involved in national security cases such as this, or I'm sorry, export violations such as this, as well as HSI. But this collaboration, you may not hear about it all the time, but this is going on in a lot of cases maybe that are, for whatever reason, underneath the media radar. Department of Justice, Department of Commerce, Department of Homeland Security, we work hand in glove, not only on cases such as this, but basically almost any case you can consider. Certainly we work with DHS quite a bit on immigration-related cases, but Department of Commerce, if you have an export violation, they're the people to talk to because they're the experts.
This is my last question. This is a new technology. Stuff's always changing with these AI chips.
Yeah.
Saw a headline this morning that one of the kinds of chips that is involved in this indictment, the H200, might now legally be allowed to be exported to China. Does that change anything about the work you guys have done over the past couple of years?
So right now, I believe it's the H20 that is available for export. I think people, obviously H100 and H200, if it were to be allowed, that's a hypothetical. Obviously, it would be profitable for some corners to export that. But the H20 compared to the H100 and H200, it's the difference between shooting a bullet and throwing a bullet. These are among the most advanced in the world, and there's a reason why the H20 is available and these are not. And there's a reason why these are desired and sought after, even to the point of creating fake inventories and fake manifests to shuttle it overseas. Yes.
Talk about the military potential with this. Is this akin to like the nuclear race? I don't know, just in terms of what's possible with this type of technology.
Sure. Well, I'm certainly not an AI expert, but AI, I think, has the potential to affect literally every scientific field, every field of study. It'll touch upon economic concerns, military concerns. So I would prefer that the United States be the leader in AI technology. I would strongly prefer that. If somebody is illegally undermining that by sending these overseas, my office and myself are very, very concerned about that. So, yes.
Were these chips physically here in Houston and then sent overseas? How did that I guess, trail of product go?
Sure. So as the complaint alleges, far better than I can say, but they usually followed a circuitous route, either to the West Coast or to New York, New Jersey. From North Carolina, one shipment went down to Atlanta, but ultimately it would be shipped to a country other than China, such as, say, Singapore, and then from there diverted to Hong Kong or mainland China. So they did not initially start in Houston, but How Global was based in Houston, and purchases were made from North Carolina.
But as far as you know, the chips never actually here.
I don't believe so. The investigation's going on for better part of a year. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions?
Before y'all were involved, they managed to get any product to China.
Unfortunately, yes, I do.
What's the value of that?
From what we can see within the people responsible in this case, it's estimated around $50 million. I can't speculate on what the people overseas would do with these chips.
160 million is a whole lot. Can you break it down, like how much is one? I don't know if that's numbers.
Yeah, they vary wildly. So like H100s obviously cost less than H200s. There's baseboards that cost a different amount of money, and they're modular. You can put a bunch of these chips on the baseboards, allow them to process together. But what I can say is the 160 million is the entire scope of the criminal scheme. So that includes a large amount of chips that were ordered, but ultimately never shipped because of the good work of our law enforcement partners in intervening so early.
So that 50 million that made it overseas is in addition to the 160 that was stopped, correct?
Yes.
Any idea what the Chinese were paying? If you know the value, were they paying exorbitantly above that?
I don't know what the Chinese, and I don't know what you mean by the Chinese. I don't know if you mean like the people overseas, or because I don't want to speculate as to it being a governmental source versus a private source. But Mr. Xu is paying market rates as a customer in the United States would pay for H100s and 200s. Okay. All right, everyone. I really appreciate you being here today. Obviously, this case, I think, has pretty big implications for our country, and we're excited that that this is the first salvo in Operation Gatekeeper. So stay tuned, more to come. All right, thank you very much.